So the Indiana Fever has finally cored Kelsey Mitchell. What does it all mean? Hello, everybody, and welcome to our channel. I'm Mark.
And I'm Rob.
So, hey, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so at the notification bell when you do, so you get notified of our next video and make Rob happy.
Yeah.
6,000 subscribers, and we need your help, just like Uncle Sam. So, Rob, it's very complicated with this coring and stuff. It started with franchising in the NFL, which I just looked up. I thought it was 2. You can get franchised 3 times in the NFL. And when you get franchised, you get the average salary of the top 10 people in your position. But each year it goes up. No one's ever been franchised 3 times. Some people have been franchised twice. So similar, I don't know why they changed the name, but in the WNBA, they call it coring, but it's essentially the same thing, except that you can get a max contract. So what it says here is the core designation or core rule allows WNBA teams to mark one of their unrestricted free agents as a member of the team's core, or to designate that free agent as a player who is an integral to the team's success, play style, identity, and brand. A free agent designated using the core rule effectively has their unrestricted status revoked, giving their team exclusive rights to negotiate a new contract with them. Any player given the core designation is automatically offered a 1-year supermax offer per the terms of the WNBA collective bargaining agreement, though the player and the team is, of course, free to negotiate a long-term contract instead if both parties see fit. A core designated player has the right to veto any trade she's involved in before signing her new contract after being cored. This gives the core player some degree of control over where she ends up in the event of a breakup between her and the team. And it goes on.
Yeah. So essentially, they can, if they core you, you can say, okay, either I can sign this super max, or I could say, wait a minute, I don't want to do this, and I'm eligible to go to negotiate with another team.
Right. They've said there's some restrictions on the team's use of the core designation. They can only core one player per free agency period. So anyways, that's interesting, and it's still very confusing at times, because why didn't she just sign a 1-year free agent contract? Why did she wait to get cored is my question, because the Indiana Fever were willing to pay her the max, I'm sure.
Right.
Given the number of years she was in the league, she was going to get the high max, which is going to be around $250,000, I understand.
Right.
And they said she's a priority, so I'm sure they were willing to pay her the max for all her years in service with the Indiana Fever when they weren't any good. Mm-hmm. And why wouldn't she want to stay with a team that's on the rise, finally got a good coach, they got a generational player, they got a new facility in a couple of years, they got a likable team. It looks like this team is going to be in competition for a championship.
Yeah, they're playing in front of a full crowd almost every game, a sellout crowd every game. I mean, as a player, that's important too. So why would you? But you never know with people sometimes, Mark. You would think that they would be reasonable and rational, but you just never know. Hopefully, she will stay. I mean, to me, it makes sense. If I was her, it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I would sign a 1-year contract because the collective bargaining agreement ends at the end of this year, and might be able to get more money and salary with the new collective bargaining agreement. I'm not even sure what happens to the contracts that are in place when the collective bargaining agreement ends.
Yeah.
If you signed it before knowing the collective bargaining agreement might disappear. I'm confused about that because I've read different things.
Does it get torn up or something? Or
I don't know. I've read that some of these contracts will be voided, but that seems bizarre to me because people can't just become free agents because there's a new collective bargaining agreement. Be that as may, she's cored, so now they have some control over her, as opposed where they didn't core. She could have just signed with anybody. So that's why the Fever cored her, and that's why anyone's ever franchised her, of course, they don't lose a valuable free agent. I don't even think it's fair. I think free agency is free agency. I don't think anybody should be allowed to be cored or franchised, but that's what happened in the NFL, and people copied it. And they got, the players had to agree to it in the collective bargaining agreement. They probably gave up something to get something in terms of agreeing to that being in the collective bargaining agreement.
Uh-huh.
So I'm not sure what's going to happen now. My guess is they're just going to try to keep her and not trade her.
Right.
That's my guess. And that's what I would do, because unless you could get another shooting guard comparable to her, which there's very few in the WNBA, and I think she's a good fit for Caitlin Clark, and they learned to play together really well after the Olympics, that I think it's going to be really hard to replace her. And she had her best year last year, Rob. So I would think she'd want to stay with the Fever with Caitlin Clark, who opens things up for her and gives her some open shots because Caitlin Clark draws so much attention.
Yeah, I mean, she might not get that type of player, and if she goes to another team, I don't know if they're going to find somebody else who's going to be able to give her the ball like that, like Caitlin Clark. And like I said, with the new coach and then the way that Caitlin plays, and where they're going to change the way they play, not that slow down, get the ball inside ball. They're going to be running. She likes to run, and she likes so.
Well, she's certainly fast enough to run. I'm not sure if she likes to run. She's fast enough to play great defense and quick enough to play defense, but she doesn't. she's kind of indifferent to defense. I'm not saying she's a bad defender, but she's not as good a defender as she should be.
Well, that's the whole team. So that's why they brought this coach.
That's going to change, Rob. Stephanie White is going to change that. I'm 100% sure of that. So I think she'll be a better passer and a better defender and a better player. And she might be first team All-Pro next year because she has that type of talent. And with Caitlin Clark on her team, she's going to shoot a nice shooting percentage because she's going to, like I said, open things up like she did last year. That was her highest 2-point shooting percentage that she had in her career last year. Most points. So it was one of her best. It was best year, if not her best year ever. So if I was her, I'd want to stay with the Fever, but she doesn't have to.
Right.
But they can keep her. They don't have to trade her if they don't want to. So unless they get another shooting card in a trade and maybe something else like a draft pick or something, why would they trade her?
Yeah.
So, again, I don't know the reasoning in Kelsey Mitchell's mind and why her agent and her decided not to just sign a 1-year contract max deal as opposed to waiting to be cored. But there must be a reason for it. I just don't know what it is. And maybe it was the wrong decision, because
that's happened before. I mean, to me, it was example would be like Jeremy Lin. He was with the Knicks. He was Linsanity all over the place. He could have just been if he'd stayed with them. I think he would have made more money with advertising just being there in New York. But he opted out and went to Houston.
I don't know, Rob. I thought he had a nice fit with the New York, and I think he hurt his career when he left because I didn't think he never had as good a fit as he did with other teams. I think he made a major mistake.
Yeah, he did. He's over he's playing basketball over in Taiwan now.
Out of that was pretty interesting. Where he came out of nowhere to be hot as heck.
Yeah.
But players do that. They make mistakes. Dennis Schroeder was offered a $85 million contract. I forget how many years it was for, like 3 or 4 years, but it was a good contract. And he ended up signing he turned it down, even though I thought that was generous considering how short a time he had played on the team. And he ended up signing for a lot less. I would have taken that deal.
Oh yeah, I would take it. I would take anything over $1 million. That was me.
Well, Rob would have taken any contract over $1 million. Okay.
Easy.
All right, Rob. Let me see if they want a 66-year-old.
I can still shoot. I can shoot the ball.
All right. How many do you think Rob should be offered to max contract? How many people would franchise Rob?
Franchise me to the bench or to hold the clipboard. Don't let me hold the clipboard though.
So, anyways, Coroners, I guess, good news in a way. Also, at least they're not going to lose her unless they want to. So, that was inevitable. She was going to get cored if she didn't sign a 1-year contract. I think. So, anyways, this is no surprise. Let us know what you think down below. And if you like this video, hit the like button. And feel free to share it with your family, friends, and acquaintances. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, what are you waiting for?
We're almost there.
Hit the notification bell when you do so you get notified of our next video. Join us for our live show, 6 to 8 Eastern time, except for major holidays. And you can call them for this show, so it's pretty cool. And if you want, you can donate to this channel with super chats and super thanks down below. And there's a link to PayPal. And we'll see you in the next video.
Peace out.